So I recently went on a date with this girl. She was beautiful, she was smart, and we were having a good conversation. At some point, I started to lose attraction for her, and it was the small things, small behaviors that made me lose attraction for her. For example, at one point in the date, I complimented her hair. I said, well, your hair looks nice and smells good. But then 4 or 5 times, repeatedly throughout the date, she brought back the hair compliment and said, oh, I must have the most beautiful hair in Barcelona. After the date, the next day, I simply sent her a short text message, hey, it was nice meeting you yesterday. And to that, she replied with a block of text. And she said something along the lines of, oh, you must have thought about me today. Well, that makes the 2 of us. And that text and also the behaviors that she displayed throughout the date, even though she's a nice girl, beautiful girl, a good person, it made me lose attraction quite a lot. And the reason was that she was acting too needy and she was craving my attention and my validation. And it's funny because a lot of guys get criticized for sometimes being too needy and being too eager, but this is not just a guy's thing. It can come from both directions. It's a universal thing. When someone is coming onto you too strong, or when you feel like the other person wants your attention and wants your validation, your natural instinct is to move away, because essentially it's a signal of low self-esteem, of low status. And we as human beings, we tend to get away from this. And this is exactly what happened, because when I first met this girl on the street and we were having this conversation, I was really attracted to her, but then throughout the date, this just went downhill because of her behavior. And this is something that you as a guy need to be very aware of. Even if you were a quote-unquote nice guy, and if you have good intentions, if you're coming on too strong, and if you're seeking the validation too much, it's just gonna eliminate all the attraction the girl has for you. And the problem is that in movies, this is actually not encouraged. In movies, they encourage you to fall in love fast or to come on strong, love at first sight, soulmates. They encourage you to do this. And this current society perpetuates the mindset that after the first date, it's okay to essentially fall in love and to spend hours every day talking to the girl. But that is not healthy, and the only people you're gonna attract are other people who need attention and who need validation. That's not a game you want to play. Think about it. If we talk about seeking validation, why do people seek validation? It's because they don't feel comfortable with themselves. They have low self-esteem. So by seeking validation, you're essentially showing the other person that you have low self-esteem. If the other person has high self-esteem, they will see that and they will not want to date you. But if the other person has low self-esteem, they actually might like this behavior, but then it's 2 low self-esteem people dating each other. And that doesn't sound like a good deal and a good plan. Now, when it comes to neediness, it means just jumping on the wagon way too fast. You go on one date, and after one date, you fall in love and you're talking all this time, you're texting all the time. And sometimes guys say that, no, I mean, this girl, I really like her, I connected really well. But the thing is that if you can really like someone, if you can fall in love with them just by meeting them once, then how low are your standards for falling in love or for really liking someone? Because how can you really like someone if you haven't really known them? If you develop feelings fast, and if you get attraction fast, and if you become needy fast, that means that you don't have high standards for liking someone. You don't know them after the first date. You don't know them after the first few dates. How do you even know them? You need some time to get to know them. You need some time to really like them. That is the healthy way. But again, that's not what the society encourages you to do. The society encourages you to do, well, if you really like someone after the first date, yeah, go all in. That's love. That's pure love. Love at first sight. That's not how things work. It's just, again, needy person meeting another needy person. And then how do usually those relationships end? When a needy person meets a needy person. In the beginning, it's all good because they're just talking all the time. But then at some point, some things change. And then one person is not getting as much attention from the other. And then the relationship becomes toxic. So again, you don't want to be a very needy person dating another needy person. You want to be a non-needy person dating another non-needy person. That's essentially the goal. You can give validation to yourself. You don't need the validation from other people. And because of it, you're able to date other people who are self-sufficient with high self-esteem and they're not needy on their sides. And then the relationship you enter is healthy and not toxic. So then your question might be, okay, well, this all makes sense, but when I really meet someone, I really develop feelings fast. So how do I become this high self-esteem, non-needy person? Well, first of all, to stop seeking validation, you indeed need a high self-esteem. And this is easier said than done. But what gave me self-esteem was that I was able to go through life, face very difficult challenges in life, and still come out strong and keep going. And then this gave me the trust in myself that no matter what happens, I can survive, I can keep going, and that ultimately gave me the self-esteem. And how do you become non-needy? Well, that's easy. You get a load of options. If you're dating one girl every few months, then you're gonna be very, very needy. But if you're dating multiple girls per week, then it's very hard to be needy because your standards go way higher. You know that you're not gonna fall in love with this girl if she's sort of average because you're dating all these other girls and you can compare them to this girl. But if this is the only girl you're dating, you have no point of comparison. And then what ends up happening is you do fall in love, but it's not really love, it's just neediness. Now, both of these things, facing challenges in real life and developing this self-esteem and also developing options, you can do both of these things by making real life approaches regularly because it is difficult, but by succeeding it, you will go on loads of dates and you will have loads of options, which will give you this feeling of non-neediness. And by doing so, you will stop this toxic validation-seeking behavior. This is why I'm such a huge proponent of real-life approaches. This is the thing that you can do today, right now, to go out and develop yourself into someone who people want to date and also get a lot of dating opportunities so you're not stuck waiting for this one person to hopefully like you back. Now, one thing I'll add is that some people might actually say, well, what happens if I really meet someone that I genuinely like? Even if I have a lot of options, what happens if I meet someone that I genuinely want to date long term? Shouldn't then I go all in? And the thing is that the answer is actually no, because the best strategy for you to attract a girl that you really like is, again, stay confident, stay calm, and take things slowly. That doesn't mean that you don't show her attention, but again, you show attraction, you show intent, but at the same time, you show that you're okay with walking away. And when you're okay with walking away, that increases the girl's attraction because it is the moment when she realizes that she can do whatever she wants and you're not gonna walk away, that she loses the attraction. So you never wanna get to that point. And the best strategy to actually maintain and retain a girl that you like is to have a non-needy, nonchalant behavior. Now, if this is something that you would like to learn, like to practice in a systematic way with my help one-on-one, I do offer one-on-one mentorship where I'm gonna go out directly with you remotely on a call or here in real life. I'm gonna teach you how to get over the approach anxiety. I'm gonna teach you what to say, different flirting techniques and social skills, and ultimately how to go and get loads of dates so you can overcome challenges, obtain romantic freedom, and in the process of doing so, develop high self-esteem and non-neediness. All these things are ultimately gonna help you build your dream dating life and attract the dream girl that you're looking for.